Welcome back to our little channel and welcome to Prokhorovka. My name is Manti and today I will be showing you a replay of Thibi in his E25. The E25 is a tier 7 premium TD with preferential matchmaking, which means it cannot meet tier 9 tanks like a normal tier 7 tank would. It is quite special in another regard, but we will talk about it in a minute. Let's see this initial setting up. Thibi is going to drive into these lower bushes, and this AMX 12 ton hasn't taken the safest route ever, and he's currently paying for it. And yeah, he has bought a ticket to the garage. That is very unfortunate. So back to the tank. This tank, the E25, comes from a time when Wargaming thought it would be a great idea if TDs lost less camo after firing than all the other classes. When they decided that's not a very good idea, they changed that stat to, let's say, the normal of all the other classes, but they didn't dare touch the premium tanks. The E25 was one of the premium tanks at the time. So, this tank has amazing camo stats normally. In this setup, it has about 60% stationary camo and about 40% moving camo, which is great. But main selling point is that after firing with this setup, it's going to have somewhere about 22% camo still, which is quite insane when fighting tier 7, tier 6 vehicles, who will quite often not have the full view range. So, Prokhorovka, classic magic forest here, or I guess the alley. Thibi has a lot of guns behind him, but the enemy team also isn't making any mistakes at this point yet. So, Thibi's team have a lot of guns here, but they don't really control anything else. Thibi's team are losing the hill. Well, they've lost the hill by now. They're going to lose the entire other flank. They don't have really any tanks in the middle either, apart from this VK, who I believe is a tier 6 heavy tank, so he's probably not going to have a good time there either. And the backline here is slowly getting demolished. And here we have a first customer. Thibi spots him and he's currently holding fire, but even with that many guns behind him, the Type 64 escapes to safety. I am probably expect that because the backline here is getting assaulted, they weren't ready to shoot. So are they going to be any more? And we can also see now Thibi looking over his shoulder and checking what's behind him. The VK finally buys the farm as well from the Lorraine in the middle, and the Lorraine could be a big issue here. Thibi spots this AMX 12 ton. And that's another tank that apparently can escape, but that E25 on the enemy team also gets spotted. And since he's stationary, things should go pretty badly for him. Thibi backs up behind the bushes and decides to finish the E25 off just to be safe. The enemy tank still has 3 light tanks, 2 of them on this side, 1 of them on the A line, and Thibi is running out of friends. Right now it's about 12 versus 7, and that's not a good situation. Only 4 minutes into this game. Thibi's gonna try and spot a few other things. There's a 12 ton behind him. And disaster as the Type 64 proxy spots Thibi. He gets his ammo rack damage. Luckily, well, not luckily, sensibly he repairs that. The Type 64 gets taken out, and Thibi decides to take up a position, a sniping position up on this hill in these bushes, and to try and shoot at all the medium tanks in the middle of the map, hopefully from the safety of his camo. So let's see how it goes. There's only 6 tanks left on the green team, and there's still 10 enemies on the enemy team. 10 tanks on the enemy team. The 1375 gets spotted and he's going to get taken out. That was unlucky. One more. There we go. That's a tier 7 light tank gone. Lorraine, that was a hard shot to hit, but we have a P43 in there. One miss, a good track, but Thibi is now concerned that he could get spotted, so he needs to go further back and shoot from safety of these trees and bushes. So again, some spotting, and Thibi beautiful times his shots with these trees, so the P43 doesn't spot him shooting. That is some beautiful work. That's an unfortunate shot. On the right we also have a SU-100 and Thibi needs to take notice. He does, and this SU-100 could be very dangerous. Thibi holds fire because he would get spotted and possibly taken out here. But now, again, in the safety of these bushes, he's okay and he can take that tank out. Okay, it's down to 4 versus 6, 3 versus 6. It's looking like a disaster. Sometimes Thibi gets spotted and gets shot by the Jackson and he needs to get out. Panzer IV also shooting him and he really needs to get out because he's surrounded. The P43 is in front of him here. The Jackson taking another bite out of his HP pool. P43 luckily just ricocheting off because that should have taken Thibi out. It's only 2 versus 5. The Scorpion is going to get into the safety of the bushes in the corner of the map, and Thibi needs to take action, and he needs to get the P43 out. Now, the enemy team probably didn't expect Thibi to fall back so far behind, so he could be safe, but he needs to find a good place to spot everybody. So let's see what happens. The P43 is a one-shot, so if Thibi can find him, he can take him out. That's the Panzer IVs. On a lot of hit points, I wanted to say, on quite few now. Thibi takes a shot. Disaster. Didn't pen with APCR. Because this tank has quite poor AP ammunition and not a lot of ammo, Thibi is just shooting full APCR, and he still got so unlucky not to pen that Panzer IV. But all is good, the Panzer IV is out. Who's next? 2 versus 4. The RT is... oh! The RT is still taking shots at the Scorpion, and Thibi takes the P43 out. And because he was a one-shot, he was killed and didn't spot Thibi back. What's Thibi's next decision? He decides to get out of there, circle all the way around the Jackson, maybe. But we also have to think that there's a full hit point challenger somewhere on this map. It's probably going to be in the bush line in the alley, but he could be in the middle of the map. He could be anywhere potentially. You just don't know. So Thibi leaves the Scorpion. The enemy RT is blinding some bushes in the corner of the map, but not the bushes the Scorpion is in. So that's good news. And Thibi is deciding to go all the way around and get that RT who's in that corner. The Jackson finishes the job, and it's now only Thibi versus the rest of the enemy team. So, 6.5 minutes to go. This RT should get a surprise very soon. There we can see him blinding some bushes again. So, the enemy team doesn't know Thibi is here. They will know soon, but Thibi needs to get this RT out of the picture because he could finish him off. So that's 1 shot, and a 2, and a 3, and look at how quick this little gun reloads. So fun playing this tank. Kinda toxic though, with the camo and everything. So the enemy team knows where Thibi was. Still don't know where the challenger is. We have a good idea where the Jackson is because the Jackson finished off the Scorpion in A1. So Thibi decides to use the camo advantages he has, go into the middle of the map and spot for himself. He has quite a lot of advantages in that regard in the middle of the map, where he will see anybody approaching before they see him. But let's see. Let's fish for those two. That's good info. So probably the Jackson is right now started the cap. He's full health still. Thibi is going to go back behind the bushes. Second shot hits the upper plate. The Jackson actually has a pretty good upper plate, but the Jackson had to use his repair kit. Now he gets tracked again. Thibi is going to try a few more blinds and finishes the Jackson unspotted because he knew the Jackson did not have a repair kit left. Beautiful work. That was another nice use of mechanics today from Thibi. I'm loving this. But now Thibi has 86 hit points and there is a full health challenger somewhere. Where is he going to be? Well, we still have 4 minutes to figure that out. Should be plenty of time. Is he going to be behind the Jackson in this corner? Doesn't seem like it. Is he going to be anywhere close in this graveyard of friendly tanks? Doesn't seem like it, but in all of these bushes the challenger could be anywhere and it will take only one shot for the challenger to take this game. So Thibi is going to go where it all kind of started today. He's gonna take the upper bushes here and see if he can spot the challenger from up here, going through this gap in defenses. Oh, there he is, and he's moving, so he gets spotted. Thibi is going to shoot through this tree. He also backs off behind these bushes, not get spotted, but he needs to get out now. The challenger is too close, and he's advancing too quickly. So Thibi retreating. The challenger knows exactly where he was just seconds ago. And with 5,000 combined, I'm sure Thibi wants to take this game, but he needs to take this slowly. He needs to tactically retreat and find another angle, because the challenger will still require 5, maybe 6 shots to be finished off. So let's see, another pass. More bushwork. The invisible E25 will strike again. Oh, this is so close, but the challenger will not spot this little cockroach of a tank. So Thibi decides to circle around, find a good angle. He needs to respot the challenger and go back behind the bushes to shoot him. Oh no, there's another bush in front. Where did the challenger go? Oh, there he is. Just spotted over the bushes here. Another shot, that was a miss. That was a ricochet. Oh no. Okay. That's 2 shots that would have been lovely to hit. But no luck there. The challenger is going back into the bush line. Another shot. Has damaged the track. The gun is too small. Oh no. Oh no, that only hit the tracks but not the hull of the challenger. There's 2 minutes left. The challenger is one shot, if I am correct. This should have 135 alpha. So most of the time, a challenger is a one shot for Thibi. He just needs to be careful about approaching him and finding him. 1.5 minutes left. Challenger was here just a second ago. Where did he go? This is quite tense. I'm sure this is also tense for the challenger player as well. Where did he go? The challenger isn't a slow tank per se. It's not the quickest either. But he's not here. So where is he? Still a minute to go. Did he just go full speed all the way south? Is the challenger just playing for a draw? Is he sitting in the corner in A1? I mean, who knows at this point? 46 seconds to go and counting. Thibi trying to get that 8 kill and take home this victory. 35 seconds. Thibi is just thinking, where the hell is this guy? How do I find him? It's too many bushes here. What Thibi can also look for is just for the light bulb and getting spotted, but he will get notified 3 seconds after getting spotted. That could be too late. 10 seconds to go. Is he going to be in the corner of the map? 7, 6, 5. No, he's not there either. Where is he? And we will never know. This game ended in a draw. It was an ace, and it was the game that Thibi got his second mark of excellence in the T25. But what a heartbreak to not find the challenger, who was right here somewhere. This is just insane. He was right around the corner somewhere. He probably bombed it to the south. Who knows? Anyway, as I said, ace tanker, 7 kills because the 8th one just got away. Thibi has 3000 spudding and not quite 3000 damage, which he would have loved to have here. On the enemy team, the Lorraine had a really good game, and Thibi just couldn't find the last tank, the missing, elusive challenger. What a heartbreak. Anyway, let us know if you like this game and where do you think the challenger went. And we will see you some other time. Bye.